Welcome to another episode of Yep Yeah Yes with Marissa and Tamika. Today we will be discussing should adults educate themselves about other cultures. But first, in the words of Julie Chen, host of Big Brother and Celebrity Big Brother, formerly host of The Talk, Julie Chen Moonves, I should say. Marissa, how are you?
Oh my God. I am fantastic.
Are you?
I am so ready for this topic. I'm so ready to discuss.
Okay.
It's about to be some unloading
Let's
today.
change topics. Let's talk about the sun and the birds. And I saw a black squirrel. You know how rare they are?
I love them. I always see them in Central Park.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've never
love
seen
them
one before in my life.
I love them. And they're all
What do
friendly,
you love
too.
about them?
Because they don't look like the brown ones or the gray ones, whatever this other
this
color
particular
is.
one stalked us, okay? Stalked us.
I love them. I always used to see them in the Bronx. I love
Well, that's
them.
where they're really popular in the Northeast. I've never seen them on Long Island, but
I've never seen one on Long Island either, but I've seen them in Central Park and in the Bronx, and just like
I was in the Bronx. That's where it's
I love how they go up to you and they kind of like stand on their hind feet.
That's
and they kind of like
I'm like, were you about to jump on me?
They do. You know the sign language for more like this. They do this with their paws and they look at you.
They do what?
This with their paws.
Oh, you're
this
saying
is the sign language for more.
Because people can't see us.
Well,
that's
they
why
can
you said the
Google
sign
sign language for like hello.
They put their fingers together and tap tap tap.
Yeah, tap 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 is more.
Okay.
I love them. I love them. I love everything about them. I think they have so much character and personality.
This is the point of the show where I regret bringing it up. We're not going to go into a whole diatribe about black squirrels. I just mentioned.
First of all, squirrels are amazing. Number one.
So anyway, should adults educate themselves about other cultures and not the squirrel culture? We're talking about people, culture, human cultures. What do you think?
Short
Wait,
answer.
how are you? You good? You said you're good? Everything good? Your life is
I'm good,
good?
bitch. I'm good. Yes.
You're a bitch?
I said I'm good, bitch. It's a comma.
Oh, you're calling me a bitch?
Yeah, I'm good, bitch. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm saying you cut me off on my whole tangent about squirrels.
Nobody wants to hear about squirrels right
now. First of all, everybody wants to talk about squirrels.
Nobody wants to talk about
Everybody
squirrels.
has a squirrel story. Number one.
Nobody has a squirrel story.
You got a squirrel story, right?
I saw a black squirrel. That's my story.
Didn't you say that it stalked you?
It stalked me.
And gave you side eye, right?
I hate
so everybody, put case in point. Everybody got a squirrel story.
If you got a squirrel story, please share it in the comments.
Oh, please do.
Anyways, so rewind.
To answer your question.
Are you good?
I'm good. Okay. Should adults educate themselves?
It's like 50 first dates. You good?
It really is. Maybe that's why you're friends with me. It feels like a plethora.
Yeah, should adults educate themselves about other cultures?
Long answer, short answer.
Well, I mean, I'm stuck here. I'm not going anywhere. So just give whatever answer behooves you.
Yes.
That's your answer?
Mm-hmm.
And now you want to... Okay, well, thank you all for checking us out. Where can they catch us? Yep, yeah, yes, 18.
On Instagram and Twitter.
Do you want to elaborate on the yes?
Don't forget your squirrel story. Yeah, I want to elaborate that. So here's the thing about... So when you're younger... Now follow me here with this train of thought. When you're younger, your bubble of social interaction is based on what your caregivers have determined for you, right? It's preset. They say where you go to school, where you go for extracurricular activities, and basically who your friends are. So long as that there is a monicum of familiarity between you and the other person that you're attempting to be friends with. As you grow older, this circle and bubble expands because you're able to interject your own choices. When you're an adult, you seemingly have no bubble. So seemingly having no bubble, meaning you can, given within means, you can get in whatever said mode of transportation and go somewhere else. Given if you have the means. If you don't, you're still able to, depending on where you are. Obviously, there's rural parts of the country that are not very diverse and there's not an economic availability. Taking all these things out, let's say that there is time, there's money, and there's a knowledge of how to do something, meaning how to get on a train, how to get on a bus, how to get in a car, how to get in a plane. You can completely educate yourself by doing a multitude of things. Should you only be around what is visually represented by you? Perhaps not. Should you only be around like-minded people? While it is no one wants to say that they're friends with someone who they can't stand, but you don't always are with like-minded people, meaning like you both have maybe the same five basic concepts. You respect each other, you know how to present yourself in the same demeanor when you're in public and in private. So given those things, you might not be around like-minded people, which is a plus because you're able to have a tete-a-tete, so to speak. So given all that, yeah, you need to educate yourself, expand and broaden what you currently know or what you were just brought up with. It's very important.
What does that education entail? How do you educate yourself?
Well, by a multitude of things. The easiest thing to do is through the arts. Go to so let's say you're Anglo-American, go to a minority play. Or if you're minority, go to you're bashed with, you're hit over the head with Anglo-American everything. But anyway, so let's say let's do Anglo-American to minority.
Do we still refer to these people as Anglo-Americans? Because in my particular culture, they're white people.
I'm just using this as a broad brush.
Okay.
So in my broad brush, Anglo-Americans. I mean, but think about it. You can literally right now pick up another device, meaning your tablet, your MacBook, your laptop, your phone, anything that you have at your smart TV, and you can just type in whatever genre of music that you don't currently listen to. So if
you can just say, Alexa, play hip hop.
Yeah, Alexa, play country.
Let's classical.
Classical. Hey. First of all, everybody needs to take 3 minutes and listen to the Gypsy Kings. It's awesome.
Not a fan,
but you know who they are, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You've taken your 3 minutes. So start with the arts. That's the easiest thing to do. And then, you end up going down a rabbit hole and going from there. One of the most amazing things, actually, I just got put onto this. So, I'm in grad school and I'm going for, in this class, one of the discussions that we were having that this person does, it's an educator. What she does for her students is you pick 5 things that you like. So if you like sneakers, so you're going to think about cobblers. If you like fashion, think about a fashion design. So she has you think about 5 things that you like, and you have to find 2 ethnic backgrounds that are not the same, 2 different ethnic backgrounds that are in that industry. So if you're into fashion, let's say Oscar de la Renta and Ralph Lauren. They're not from the same ethnic background. If you're into dentistry, who's the first black dentist?
I don't know.
In America?
I don't know.
We had this discussion a little while ago.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
But anyway, but it's things like that. It's things like that. So what she has them do is find 2, and that really does broaden your horizons. It really takes you down another rabbit hole, especially if you're on the internet. So many other things come up on your preferred search engine, so you can just start that way.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very hard, and it's very, you can't say like, oh, go to a black neighborhood. Nobody can go up to someone and be like, oh, we're in a Spanish neighborhood. Hey, you want to be my Spanish friend? You just can't do that. But if you begin, I think, one of the easiest things is if you begin in the arts and you begin to immerse yourself in that way, you begin to broaden and expand who your bubble is in terms of people. It becomes an organic process.
I see that. I think, I feel like if you can Google what time a restaurant opens or closes, how far it is from you, GPS it, then you can Google, what's that mean?
Absolutely.
Urban language.
Urban dictionary.
So, and just because I happen to be of an ethnicity that uses certain language doesn't mean I know it. I'm a 45-year-old woman. I don't know the slang that these kids are using. So, for example, I Googled something, right? And I'm like, why do they keep saying this? So I Google it, now I know what it is. So when I hear it, I'm like, okay.
Oh, what is it?
Cap.
Oh.
No cap. I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
No limit?
That means no lying.
No lying? No cap. Why cap?
I don't know. I didn't go into these. I didn't really need to know the origin of that because it's just
So that's this new kid's word is bond.
That's the new people.
That's the new word is bond.
Right. Well, no, word is bond is true.
It's true.
Word is bond is I concur.
Shut your mouth.
What'd you think it was?
No, but like, you know,
like my word is my bond.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
No cap makes no lie. That makes no sense.
No cap.
Like bond is
like this is I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, this is my word is my bond.
Right. What does no cap mean? I don't even want to know how that came about.
There's so many things in Urban Dictionary that I just don't like. I actually like need to Google how did this come about.
Right, but you're not going to ask me unless I say it to you. Like, but I'm not going to be like no cap. But there's certain things that you might ask me, but I don't mind telling you about it because of the fact that I know that there's half the stuff that I know, you probably either already knew or you know more than I know. You know what I mean? Because you like the things that you be sending me. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, where is she? Like you're on the internet and you're browsing these memes and shit. You know this stuff more than I do. You know what I mean? So I don't need to find out from you about certain things that's going on in my culture, quote unquote culture. But I think the thing, and I just want to. I'm not going to say a person's name, but I hope, she doesn't get offended by me, bringing this up. But the conversation that she and I had is what prompted today's episode.
And this is a friend or an acquaintance?
No,
or somebody?
It's a friend.
Okay.
Like, it's a friend of mine. But I didn't think about it in the moment. I didn't think about it till later. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I was offended. It was just like, this is historically how it's always been in our society. So
wait, can you elaborate? Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
So whenever a black person, or I'm only speaking for black people because I'm sure it happens in Asian community and Hispanic community. I know it does, but I'm speaking for personal experience.
Okay.
Whenever something happens in my culture, somebody says something, it's like it's up to us to educate society about what it means. Once you figure it out for yourself, and don't look at me crazy because I never told you what something meant.
Wait, hold up.
So, okay. So I said to my friend, I was like, you invited to the cookout.
No, and they didn't know what that meant?
Like, what does that mean? And it's like, not every black person knows this, what the cookout means.
Yeah.
It's just a thing of today. It's not,
I could tell you one thing about the cookout. I'm an invited guest and I ain't looking to invite nobody, but I will make sure you have your cerveza at the quinceañera. But I also feel like, she or he.
Wait, let me. Okay, so anyway, I explained, what that. She's like, what does that mean? It's like just when you're like on the side, when you siding with a black person, like you're invited to a cookout. A cookout is
historically
a cookout for us is like a gathering of family and friends. Not everybody is invited to the damn cookout.
No, they're not.
There's family members that are not invited to the cookout, and so when you get invited, it's like we don't just invite anybody to the cookout. I have friends who I've never invited to my house for a cookout, and so if I invite you to a cookout, that means I trust you around my family.
But it's the cultural the symbolism of that cookout. I'm not looking to Hispanic explain anything, but it just for somebody
sounds that way.
No, I'm not to you. I'm saying to like somebody's listening. It's a very endearing thing to be invited literally to a cookout. Not only have you immersed yourself within the friendship, but in the family, because you're really meeting a broad spectrum of family members.
You're being accepted.
You're being invited, and I ain't never been to a cookout where I've walked away feeling like I'm never going back.
Right.
But I've been to barbecues where I felt that way.
Right. But barbecue in our part of the country, this New York part, we usually call it a barbecue.
No, I'm just saying I'm using that sentence within.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get it. But anyway, so can I go back to my story now? Please, can I get a second? No. But yeah, so it's like one of those, and that's kind of like what the pop culture is today, where everybody's like, oh, this person's invited, Joe Biden's invited to the cookout.
So,
or I can't. Kellyanne Conway ain't
what about
invited to the cookout.
Billy Ray Cyrus got invited?
All of a sudden, he's
invited to all the cookouts,
and not just because he did a song with the guy. But go ahead.
No.
Not only because he did a song with the guy, but because Lil Nas X was ostracized by the country community during the Country Music Awards, and they congratulated Billy Ray on the song when he was actually a featured person on the song, and it was like in big letters. And Billy Ray went by the sign and put up a big sign up, putting Lil Nas X's name in there. And so because he did that, he stood up for the black community in a way, and said no, he should be getting the props. Okay, he's invited to the cookout. Yeah. He recognizes what's real. You know what I mean? And so that's what it also comes down to. So it can be the basic family thing, with every day, family reunion, 4th of July, whatever it is. But in the grand scheme of things, when we talk about social media, there is no real cookout. Yeah. It's life. You've endeared ourselves to you. And then the other thing too is like when we do when we start trading people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now they're trading Tiger Woods. Okay. So Tiger Woods
again. I feel like this guy gets traded every few years.
Yeah, he gets traded every. So like Tiger Woods would be traded for.
Why is he getting traded again?
Because he went to the White House and accepted his Medal of Honor, Medal of Freedom. Like why now? Because he wanted it just. You make that so insignificant when you like Tiger, like he should definitely get it, not yet.
Yeah.
And the fact that he went, he was all smiles, and it's fine. You can go. The White House still means something. The office of the presidency still means something.
Right.
But you have never endeared yourself to the black community ever. No. Even when you were asked what your race was, you named a whole bunch of other races.
Cobbling Asian.
You've never, what I know of, you've never done anything for the black community in terms of enrichment programs. I was listening to the radio today and somebody was like, it would go a long way if he was sponsored some HBCUs, their golf programs and, that kind of thing. But anyway, so the whole trading thing is like, you take Tiger Woods, y'all take Tiger Woods, and we'll take, I can't even think of anybody at the top of my head, but we'll take a white person who has endeared themselves to the black community. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, so we're good. We'll take him. Yeah. You take like Baker Mayfield. I think I showed you the thing where he was dancing with his team or whatever. It's like that's They have to be in the same kind of
in the vein,
the same genre, like sports or whatever. And so going back to what I was originally saying is like explaining this, to a friend or anybody is just like, and I have no problem explaining it, but you questioning why I've never explained it to you in the past that's not my job. It's not my job to educate you.
So the issue is not explaining it. The issue is you being asked why you've never explained this before.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't mad or anything like that. It's just one of those things where it's like, why do I always have to explain? Not to this particular person, just in life.
Yeah.
Why do black people always got to explain what's going on? Like, we do this because, and remember that thing was going around with the on Facebook, I think it was, where when white people get to ask, excuse me, black people, black people get to ask white people why y'all put raisins in your potato salad.
Yeah. Yes. And the whole, black people ask, yeah.
There's no problem with asking the question. The problem is questioning why you never told me to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not up to us. It's not up to adults to educate y'all on whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to ask me a question and I can give you an answer, no problem.
Yeah.
If you want to question why I never told you this to begin with,
that's your problem.
It's not my job to educate you. I can educate you. I can school you. I can learn you. Sure thing. But it's not my job. It's not my job.
It's not my job.
Feel me?
I feel you.
And so again, to my friend, if you listen, I mean, it's not like I'm coming after her or whatever, or anything like that. It just made me think, and I wanted to do this topic because of that.
But the conversation sparked a thought, which sparked that
I didn't have in that moment.
Right.
But I thought about it later, and I was like, why should I have to explain? It's not my job to explain to you the idiosyncrasies of black folk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of writers out there. Langston Hughes can tell you. There's a lot of movies out there that
if you had a little bit more exposure, you would know that.
There's a lot
but that's
of
why I was saying the cookout and the barbecue. I was making the whole
right.
Baychella, Mayocella.
And it's the thing about it is like I feel like people of color, even though I hate that, I don't mind referring to it when I'm talking about people of actual color, not just one race, but many races. I feel like our job has always been to kind of, we always have to know about the white race. Okay.
Well, I don't think you have to. I think you're forced to.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, we have to know because when we get tested, we don't get tested on Hispanic Heritage Month.
No.
Or Black History Month.
No.
Or Korean, or Panamanian. It's always about white history. So we have to know. We want to get an education. We want a degree.
It's going to be
they're not going to say,
Anglo-American.
like, tell me Langston Hughes' top-selling book. They're not going to ask me that.
But they'll ask you about Walt Whitman.
Correct.
You'll never hear about Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
No, never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's always been and when I say our, me, you, people of color, it's always been our duty to always learn more about the white race, but it's never reciprocated. No. And then when we look at them like, well, you've never heard, like, all of a sudden I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how you don't know, like, a Biggie song. You know, and this goes back to, this is another thing too. This is a couple of years ago. I was having a conversation with a relative who married into my family, who is not black. And her partner, they basically debated me about the significance and importance of poetic justice. And I'm like, for black people, that is a cultural favorite movie. Like, there's certain movies, it's like,
it's a cult classic.
Yeah, it's like, it may not have done, like, Breakfast Club, something like that. It may not have done, it's not even the same decade, but it's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
There's certain movies that, like, we've seen them. You may not have seen ATL, but for black people, it's like, that's,
Yeah.
My mom's generation is Cooley High.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love that movie.
A heroine, but a sandwich. Like, there's certain, but, like, people have never heard of it. And so, don't look at me when I say, for us, this is of cultural importance. It's a big movie. Like, that's huge for us. Whatever the movie, I mean, yeah, Coming to America is huge, but it's huge globally. When we talk about movies that are, like, for like, Love Jones, like, that's one of my favorite movies. You probably never heard of, not you, but there's certain people is like, really?
My 18% is up on all these movies.
Right.
It's funny because it's like, so debating someone about a subculture of America on what's a cult classic is so hard, because if you ask people of, like, let's say our parents, or, like, just a little bit, even a decade older than us, what would they say? Probably Animal House. What's that? Roadhouse. What's the other one with Matt Damon's first movie, where they're all
Good Will Hunting?
No, with the
that was his first movie.
Where Sean Penn was like a beach bum.
Oh, that Matt Damon wasn't in. Oh, Matt Damon was too young for that.
Not Matt Damon. All right.
No, but
all right.
Fast Times at
Richmond High.
Yeah.
So I've never seen that.
Right.
But you can't argue with them that that's a cult classic.
Right. God forbid.
God forbid. But
that's the same time as Cooley High. But that's the same era. You know what I mean? It's like,
but Cooley High is a cult classic. You can't say it's not. You can't say it's not if you're not within that subculture. Just like most people, it's like, just think about but see, that's why I say it's so great to start with the arts when you're looking to educate.
If you really want to know, you will start, like you said, with the arts.
Yeah.
If you really showed an interest.
Yeah. If that's something, if you want to just expand and broaden, there's so many great representations of American subculture within the arts, and I love movies. So I'll go with movies, especially movies that show those idiosyncrasies and show those dynamics and conversations that are happening within these subcultures of America. It's a really dynamic and beautiful thing.
This is why I love hanging out with you prior to you having your kids, because I mean, your kids are great, but now you're too busy.
You done brought them up this time.
Of course, as a reminder of who you were and who you is. Back in it, when you were, we went to French movies, like we went to
everything,
everything. And you're one of the few people, if not the only person, that I can go see Black Panther with. Say, hey, you want to go see Black Panther? And there's no hesitation. And also go see, now of course now I can't think of a movie, but you know what I'm saying? Like I can go see whatever movie. I can go see a movie that's playing that was back in the 50s and they bring it back into the theaters, or a classic movie at the Huntington Cinema of Arts.
I can tell you right now that my mom is beaming with pride right now, because that I feel like, I don't know if my brother would say the same thing, because I know I've had these conversations with my mom. I'm not quite sure if he's had these same conversations. Her objective when it came to me was to have a global view.
Right.
To drop me anywhere in the world and feel comfortable and be able to navigate that. And to really understand the human condition. So by you saying that alone, I know she's beaming right now.
It's funny. I actually brought you up when I was with my friend, because I brought you up because my friend is biracial. And I said to her, I was like, Marissa was raised in a way. I was like, I didn't know her when she was growing up, but based on my conversations with her and my conversations with her mother, it was like, society will tell you who you are, but I'm going to show you who you really are.
Yeah, I'm going to show you who I am. Yep.
Because society is not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't want to. I'm just going to bring it up I'm going to try to bring it up with being sensitive in a way.
Okay.
Okay. So I brought it up in regards to particular people in your life. Okay. Who, and this is kind of like, in a way, conversation that you're raising. Let's just say your kids. I brought up your kids.
Yeah.
You're raising your kids in a way where you tell them they're Puerto Rican.
Right.
And I explained that the reason why you have to keep telling them that is because society is going to tell them they're white.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And with my friend, the same thing with her.
Yeah.
She's biracial, and it's like, society is going to tell you you're white.
Yeah.
It's up to your parents to remind you what that other part that nobody's going to appreciate.
Yep.
And so that's why I was like, this is why I think she does an amazing job I'm not talking about you, do an amazing job as a mother. Even though I bust your chops a lot, I bust your chops all the time. But I mean, you can take it. If I ain't gonna bust it, do you want a yes man?
No, I don't.
You want somebody who's gonna be real with you. I bust your chops a lot, but at the end of the day, your little girl can come here with the fairest skin and the lightest hair and be like, I'm Puerto Rican. What?
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Society's gonna tell her one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's gonna show them another.
Right. And so it's up to, as a kid, it's up to you to educate her and all your children. When she becomes an adult, she should be educated to the point where she can figure it out for herself. She can educate herself. It's not going to be up to other people to teach her about Puerto Ricans.
Oh, exactly. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's important as adults that we seek out those things.
Yeah.
I never went to French movies when I was a kid, but it's like, okay, well, they got subtitles.
Yeah.
And I read subtitles anyway. I'm down. You know what I mean? And so I always try to make it a goal of mine to try to learn something new. I have music, all types of music, at my home. I don't listen to music as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to, I want to be open to everything. And I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, where'd that come from? I don't know anything about that. And if I don't know anything about it, I'm going to either ask or Google it.
Yeah.
If I can Google this, I can Google that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make a faux pas. Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas. I don't want to make a faux pas.
I won't make a faux pas.
And which makes me think of that guy, the guy Danny Baker from the BBC. Did you see that? Where
happened?
He tweeted a picture, a picture of from back in the day. I don't know if they were a royal couple. It was a white couple with a baby chimpanzee. People hold the hands of the chimpanzee.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
what? Please tell me this
he
is
called
not.
them Meghan Markle, Harry, and their son Archie. So he immediately got fired. He's like, I didn't realize. He's like, it wasn't about race. It was.
How is that not about race?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's up to you to realize. So, you know how many stories keep coming out about monkeys
But how?
And equating that to black people.
But why would you even do that? Even if it's not about race, why would you say that about a baby? Okay, so take the race out of it. Why would you say that? Why would you be disrespectful of another family?
You knew it was fucking about race. You know, you want to deny. You had no problem until you got fired, and you're like,
well, I didn't know. Oh, yeah. You knew, dumbass.
And if you didn't know, that's on you.
That's on you.
If I want to sit here and be like, okay, he didn't know, you're still stupid.
You're on the BBC.
Right.
You're real stupid.
So it's like you gotta educate yourself.
Like Homegirl. Like whenever Halloween comes around, I'm like, oh Jesus Lord.
Who? Which one?
I keep saying Derek Huff's sister. She
Julianne
came out.
Huff. Oh, but she came out.
She's dead to me now.
She's dead. But Paula Abdul showed her who she was. You saw when she threw the hat in her neck.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
That was good. She's like, ooh.
Like, ow! Good bitch. When she came out with blackface.
Yeah.
Like, you really? Ain't nobody
crazy
around.
Eyes from, yeah.
But nobody around you had like, really? Nobody was
That's
like, hey,
who you
by the way.
associate with.
Oh, by the way.
That's what happens when you don't expand your network, your culture. You think everybody. But, you know, it's like, you don't even make any kind of effort.
That's like listen. I always like this is one of the sage things in life that people need to understand at a very early age. Diversification, whether it comes to your money, whether it comes to your friends, when it comes to how you entertain yourself. Diversify.
Right.
You need to consistently, openly, and with the objective of education and broadening how you view the world, diversify.
Yeah.
Go beyond just the narrow scope of who you are, what you are, your town, your this, your that. Just do it. You do yourself a favor. And this is
make an effort. They don't take nothing to make an effort.
Not at all. You remember how like when the internet became so big, and you know, remember how like not everybody had computers at home. And they would always be like, well, go to the library. Libraries have computers, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
There is literally no excuse. Most libraries are very well funded.
You can actually go in there without a card. You just can't. You need a card to check stuff. You can go in there without a card.
Without a card, yeah. Any library.
Read the same damn book. Go in the library.
But you can just get on the computer. They have.
You need a card.
But they will give you. They give you day passes.
Okay, so there you go.
That's it. They just want to make sure.
There ain't no excuses.
You have. There is for this day and age, for this country.
Right.
Nah, baby.
No excuses.
Nah, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. Just.
I have an antidote. If may I share?
Hey, this is your show. Your name is in the title of the show. Yep, yeah, yes, with Marissa and Tamika.
Or Tamika and Marissa.
Well, the title, if you actually look at the podcast, it says Marissa and Tamika, and I didn't do that to belittle myself. It's because M becomes important. Exactly. Yeah. You know, I am better, but you know, I did give you that. Exactly, right, Pico? His ears just popped up.
He's like, bitch.
Right, Pico?
He's like, I know a bitch when I see one.
What?
So listen. So somebody asked me today yesterday, if their actions are racist.
I need to know what the actions were.
Okay, so this person I work with says, "Oh, that's so ghetto. That's so ghetto.
That's racist.
That's so ghetto."
To me, it is.
I don't think so, and I'm gonna tell you why. She uses that term for everything, even if she's doing
it's not racist, offensive.
I'm not offended because she uses the term for that's just it's her phrase.
Have you ever lived in a ghetto?
Yeah.
Like for real?
Yes.
A real ghetto?
Yes.
I'm not talking about when you were 2 and you barely remember.
No, I lived in Riverdale when I was 2. In Puerto Rico, in like the worst neighborhood, the second worst neighborhood on the whole island.
Finish your story.
In the ghetto. No, she'll like make like something an art project, and she'll be like, look at this piece, it's so ghetto. Like she doesn't call people ghetto, like the things that.
Yeah, but by referring to negative stuff as ghetto, that's offensive. You're basically saying that you're equating the ghetto, underprivileged, undervalued, underappreciated, under economically depressed areas as negative.
Oh, you just had to take it there.
But that's what she's doing. She's not saying, "Oh, your dress is so pretty, it's ghetto."
wouldn't it be nice to make that word ghetto into something different? No.
Am I right? Does she use the word to say something positive, or is it always used in a negative connotation?
No, in a negative connotation.
There you go. It's offensive because there are people there that are struggling. If you ain't never been to the ghetto, you ain't never heard of the ghetto, then stay your ass out of the ghetto. But I know I got that wrong, but that's a.
But she's used. I don't know. I'm gonna have to reflect on this because I feel like.
Do that.
But in conversation, you don't call like this ghetto ass.
I don't believe I do. I usually try not to use that word. If I do, it's like a faux pas. Faux pas. Why do I keep using a word I can't pronounce correctly?
Faux pas.
If I do, then it's like I'm not using. Like it just slipped out. I don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. I don't. To me, that word to me is worse than using the word nigger.
What?
To refer to something, yeah.
Oh.
I wish somebody would be like, damn girl, you look ghetto. Really? Or walk in my house and tell me my furniture look ghetto. Or that my kitchen setup is ghetto. That's not offensive? Somebody comes to your house, you're having people over. Somebody come look at your cups, damn, these look ghetto. You're not gonna be offended? Real talk.
No, of course I would be offended.
That's it. That's all I gotta say.
It's a negative. It's a phrase to say something is not
right. So how could that not be offensive? If you're using something where people actually struggle, people are dying in ghettos, people are trying to make ends meet, and you're using something where you would never even go. You ain't not doing nothing to uplift that part of the world, but you're gonna take it and make something so trivial in your bougie ass neighborhood, your bougie ass school, make it like, oh, that ghetto. Really? Just yeah, you marinate on that. Anything else?
Stupid. No. See, I don't know.
You don't have to agree.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree.
Right.
I just feel like the phrase is used quite often that the terminology of ghetto is no longer actually what it means. So this is a hard one.
But you don't feel that way about the word nigger. Meanwhile, that same explanation is used to describe why you're okay to say it.
Oh my gosh.
True?
No, you're right. Now I have to agree. Yeah, okay.
And to be honest with you, I debated whether I wanted to use that word on this podcast. I have no problem saying it. I have no problem with that word. I'm gonna call you my nigger. You know what I mean? But I don't, because you're offended by that word.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever called you that.
No.
But I might say it to somebody else. Yeah, she's my nigger, yo. I don't talk like that.
You don't talk like that, Joe.
But I have no problem saying that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway, you want to transition while you marinate on that?
No, I've made up my mind. I'm not marinating anymore.
What's your made up mind?
No, when you put it in the terms of how I feel about certain words, that they will not be used ever. No, okay. Now I have to use the word.
Not double down, but expanding a little bit on that. And not necessarily just me and you, just in society. If somebody tells you they're offended by that, if one person's offended by it, stop. Why do people feel the need to continue using something, a phrase, or saying things?
Oh, I remember how this came up. Let me give you context how this came up. Hold on, no, because I want to expand on this interaction with somebody.
Okay.
So there was like this lip sync, which you came with me to. They were like, oh, how did the lip sync thing go? I was like, oh, my kid did really cute, but I was just really offended all the way. Really, why? Well, during this genre of music, this is what they did. I thought it was very cartoonish, and it was the representation just wasn't, I don't think, appropriate. If it was giving homage to the music video, that would have been one thing, but one thing, it didn't tie into it. So it was just, I was very offended. And that person's jaw dropped and was like, am I racist? And I was like, why do you ask? Because I use the word that's so ghetto all the time. And I was like, actually, I don't think so, but now that I'm thinking on it, I'm going to have to take this conversation further with them. because
them.
I was like, yeah, with this person that asked me,
are
they
okay.
racist? Because I was like,
no, but what did you say when she said that?
And I was like, why do you say that? Why are you asking me? And she was like, I just want to make sure, because I use the word "that's so ghetto" all the time.
Probably never been to a ghetto.
Probably not, but I don't know. But now I gotta marinate on. I already made up my mind on the word. I'm gonna use the word ghetto properly now.
In the way that it's intended to be used.
Yeah.
Use it.
Use it. Use it. Okay, so now I'm done.
So let's transition a bit.
Yep, that's trending.
So I'm going to talk about whether someone can be with me or against me. Like kind of break down teamwork.
Ooh.
Okay? So what I mean by this is if I've made a decision, and it actually ties into what we just now talking about. If I tell you this offends me, are you riding with me or are you not? Like, what kind of teamwork do we have going on here?
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were just saying, oh, okay. No, I'm riding. But you riding, I'm riding.
Yeah, but what if you don't really 100% agree?
Then we have a conversation on it.
And maybe try to understand why.
Yeah, why we both come to this conclusion. And why are we at this impasse?
Right. I think I came up with it because of the whole thing with the Boston Red Sox, where they went and they visited the White House. And all of the players of color did not go. None of them. Ooh. Including the manager of the team did not go. But all the white players did go. And the question came up is like, how come the people of color, it's like, this also ties into what we were talking about. How come people were asking them why they didn't explain why they weren't going.
People haven't had to explain before. Tom Brady didn't have to explain.
But my thing is like, how come you're not asking the white players to explain why they didn't support their teammates who decided not to go? Nobody asked them that. They were just like, okay, they're going. You're not gonna even ask them like, how do you not stand by your teammates? Or it's always the person that quote unquote the loudest person is not always the majority.
Yeah.
I mean, the loudest person is probably minority typically.
Right.
When you start taking a look, it's like, okay, you had a loud mouth and all these other people are just sitting there like,
we don't agree.
We're not agreeing.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody like questioned why they questioned one side, why one side wasn't standing with the other side, but not why the other side wasn't standing with the other.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody had a conversation.
No.
Because it definitely was tied down racial lines. It's not one single. I mean, as like you usually don't see that.
I'm curious to what's that. Do you think they spoke about it? Do you think a few people had conversations or no? Like not at all?
I would like to believe so. If you're in the locker room and it's like,
what's that going to be like Monday morning?
When they go back to play, or to just wash it over, we co-work. Society, we like to think that celebrities that work on movies together are friends.
Yeah.
People that play baseball.
Yeah, just because you work together, you're not friends.
I'm not friends. Like people I work with, I don't ever see them.
Yeah.
But we play for the same team.
Yeah.
It's us against everybody else.
Yeah.
But are they coming to the cookout?
No, probably not.
They have not shown anything to me that shows me, yeah, y'all invited. So why is this even an issue with the Red Sox thing, particularly? And then on the same token, it's like, is there something that ever happened in your life where you had to make the decision to go against a teammate or the team and say, you know what, I can't ride with the team. I'm gonna have to do my own thing.
I know you don't like me talking about my kids, but one of my kids was in kindergarten and we were doing like the class parents, we got together and we're trying to decide a craft for Thanksgiving. I typically never did anything holiday because obviously it's a secular school. They go to public school, and I never. So anyway, but Thanksgiving is an American thing. So hey, let's figure out what we're gonna do for Thanksgiving. And one of the parents said, "Oh, let's do those headdresses with some feathers," and I was like, "No, why? It's first Thanksgiving. We're supposed to celebrate coming together." And I was like, if you ask any Native American, this is a day of massacre. Like, no, I'm not doing a cartoonish version of something I don't know. I don't know why somebody wears an eagle feather. I don't know anything about it. I'm not doing that. And I was like, that's absolutely not happening in the classroom. And if you insist on it, my child will be taken out and I will go to administration and let them know how I feel. And they were like, well, okay, well, what do you want to do then?
So you stood up, but what did they end up doing?
Oh, they did why they're thankful.
So it's not even about, so that's not really, I mean, it's somewhat an example because you stood up for your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying a situation where the thing went on and you either joined the team or you didn't, or vice versa.
I guess it was more like they had to join my team or they were getting kicked out, I guess. I wasn't.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see it that way.
I'm trying to think of something else.
I could definitely see, like, you kind of like nipped that in the bud.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I'm not very combative.
Right.
I will say this. My nature is not combative. But the few times where I've been like, that's not happening, there's no discussion. That is not happening.
Right. You stand by your convictions.
Yeah, there's no, I'm not to be reasoned with. This is why, and that's it.
Right.
And not that it's not that I'm unreasonable. I'm not combative, and I don't really. I'm pretty agreeable. But when something is where I feel over the line or not something that's going to go according to my values, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
Or I hope. I'm trying to think. What else? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I'm a very passive aggressive person. I'll state how I feel. And if it's still going to not coincide with how I really feel, I'm probably just not going to show up.
Can you think of an example?
Not off the, I should have probably did a little research. Obviously, I came up with this topic at the last minute. If I'd have been like a normal person and did my own research and racked my brain like a normal person, I probably could think of something much more, quote unquote, off the top of my head. But at the moment, no, I cannot.
you know how like you said passive aggressive. I'm real passive aggressive, and they do these like it's called payday breakfast at work, and like people get together and when it's a payday they do a quick little breakfast. Well, this last one fell on May 3rd, I think it was, and they did a whole like fiesta. And I'm watching homegirl like set up and stuff because it was a Thursday. I'm eating my lunch and she's setting up and I was like, oh, look at your little theme, huh? She's like, yeah, I go all out. I usually play Mexican music. And I was like, oh, shit. She done said the wrong words to me. I was like, you play Mexican music? She goes, yeah, it's really fun. And I make margaritas. And, blah, blah. And I was like, are you, like, being cartoonish? Or are you, like, do you... But I said, the homegirl, she had it in the chamber. I think she was ready. I was like, do you even know what Mexican music is? Or do you just, like, Google anything? And she goes, no, Marissa, I'm not one of those people that just goes to a store and looks at anybody with a big hat. I actually know what it means, and I know it's the Battle of Puebla. And I was like, oh, okay. And I laughed. And she was just like, I'm not trying to be cartoonish. I'm just trying to be fun.
A lot of people are, though.
Yeah.
You never know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, like, you want them to build a wall at the same time you're sipping a margarita. Build that wall.
You going to Cancun.
Exactly. Hello.
Don't go to Cancun.
Don't go to Cancun.
No, don't go to Cancun.
If you're taking a cruise and they stopping in Cozumel,
no. Don't get off that boat, bitch.
Don't get on the boat, bitch. You paying for Mexico still. Like, you don't get to straddle the line here, okay?
Ask China if walls work. Please.
Hello.
Ask China. Ask them how them walls work.
How that working out for you, boo? Shoot.
Can I just give you an antidote about the Great Wall of China, why it lasts for so long? You know, in the mortar they used rice, and rice expands and contracts with different temperatures, and that's why this wall has lasted for so long, though parts are still crumbling. Just a side note.
Thank you.
That was really interesting to know that.
Appreciate it. Anyway.
Well, thanks. You change that kind of energy real fast. All right then.
It's good that you educate me.
Well, bitch, the more you know.
The more you remember that. What was it? NBC.
They still do that, right?
Oh, do they? I don't know.
I don't know.
Now they don't watch TV the same way.
What happened to the after-school specials?
I don't want them no more because they used to show this one. Yeah, there was one where the brother found the younger brother found his older brother's box of like cocaine underneath the bed, and he sniffed it. Okay. And then when the brother came home from school, he found his younger brother, floating in the pool dead.
That escalated quickly. That escalated quickly. I'm like, what? That was not cocaine.
That was not cocaine.
That escalated way too quickly.
He was found dead floating in the. I was like, you know what? I'm like 13. I'm like, this is too much.
This is too much.
And then there was another one they used to show in when I was in elementary school. They showed it every year, and it traumatized me every year.
What?
Like, they're for real. Like, it traumatized me.
The track ones. Whenever they were playing on the tracks, those get me.
This one is a winter one.
Okay.
So the kids are waiting at the school bus, right? And did you see this one? They showed all the time. The girls, they have the mound at the school bus. Like the snow plow comes.
Yeah,
and so she's playing on the mound, and the school bus comes up, and she goes sliding down the mound underneath the school bus.
Stop.
And the ambulance comes, and then she ends up like dying. This is what they played in auditorium.
Are you kidding
so don't play
me?
in the snow on the mound. When you're at the school bus, this is how you stand.
The worst.
And
then you wonder why everybody's on Xanax at this age.
I think my mother's group saw these videos too because it was so old. By the time we saw it, I grew up in the 80s, okay, like going to elementary school in the 80s, and so in the 80s it was still dated, but not dated like that.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then they wonder why everybody's on anxiety medication.
Exactly.
Like, really? Holy crap.
Yeah, it was a different era. back then. So you said bring back the no, we don't need the after school. They got Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. They got enough school specials and that they tackle. And have you ever sat down and watched these shows with your kids? Sometimes it's like, what are they talking about?
The parents are always buffoonish.
Yeah.
And like, really, you just go out like that on a Tuesday night? Like, you ain't got really?
Right.
You just go wherever you want to go?
I mean, the Little Rascals were like that.
Yeah, but at that time, they really did that. Your parents let you go. Oh my God, in the 20s?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I would get home super late and just be like, I told you I was staying home by myself at 8.
Yeah, I remember
I was
in
scared
kindergarten,
the first time,
me and my brother used to walk home alone in kindergarten.
I don't think you would allow your kids to walk next door without you looking. Make sure they made it next door. Like, I mean, I know you'd let them go next door if they have friends next door. I don't know if they do or not, but you would make sure that you were watching them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Back then, when me, you, whatever, growing up, it's just a different time.
Completely different
environment. And I think the same predators were back around then as they are today.
Yeah.
It's just we know about them more. Social media and everything,
The world has gotten smaller.
The Me Too movement and like everything. People is not settling for shit.
But
I don't want to hear you call nobody ghetto. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's just like people ain't stand the same things we stood for back then. We not. No.
I'm not here for it today.
Not today.
But also we've taken shame away from it. Where if you were a victim of a predator in any capacity, you kept it quiet because you should be ashamed.
Right.
Not effing predator.
Right.
Predator.
One thing I always remember that can never leave my brain. The only way that it would leave is if I end up getting Alzheimer's or something. Like that's how prevalent is my head. Is when my abuser is like, I own you.
Ugh. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yes.
Anyway, let's leave this show on the episode on a good note. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, Happy Godmother's Day.
Well, they don't have a Godmother's. They have a Godparents' Day.
They do.
How come I ain't never got a card?
Because
you whack.
I'm whack.
I get a card. You got
everything.
3 kids. All I ask is my birthday and godparents' day. I want a great gift on my birthday, a great gift on Christmas, and
I try to come through on your birthday though.
Let me finish.
Yes.
And a card on godparents' day.
Okay.
Considering the fact that I gotta remember 3 kids on their birthday, Christmas, and every other thing that pops up. Every time you turn around, there's something popping up. I gotta remember you.
You don't have to, but it's really nice that you do.
Really, I don't have to.
No, but it's really nice that you do. You're the
and
only
this
one
is the
who
thing
does.
that always used to bother me, and so then I started switching.
What?
We were supposed to end this on a good note, but now I'm like,
whatever. We all the way in it now.
Fetching. It really bothers me when a single person has to get a gift for a couple.
Ew.
Like you like, well, give her a scarf and him, a tie, or whatever the case may be, and then you get like a cheese grater.
Have I done that?
No, you have not.
Okay,
but
just checking.
Well,
I know people
I
have.
stopped getting your boo something because I was like,
There's
what?
no reason. Yeah.
But he's been generous to me over the years. Every once, he would think about me, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in my life, relatives, whatever. It's like, okay, so, and not only that, you know what's even worse? And I'm sure you do this with other people, because it makes it easier.
It's human nature.
Somebody gets something for you, your boo, and your kids, and then you get them, like, say it's a couple, say it's a couple, okay, they don't have any children. You get them, like, from your family, like one gift.
From the Marissas,
Right, from the Marissas, like a candle from the Marissas. They done got your kid an outfit, all 3 kids an outfit and a toy, got you and your boo a candle, and you gave them
facts.
See, it's just not right.
Facts. Cap? No cap?
No cap.
No cap.
Howard.
Another thing of facts I want to say. Every white person I know this week has said, "All right, ready to rock and roll?"
What is that? When I see your people this weekend, well, the other people, other side of the people, other side,
ready to rock and roll?
No, I'm be like, ready to hip hop.
That's the new thing. You ready to hip hop?
I don't care enough to educate them, of course.
And
just kidding.
You know when you're looking at the collection of the people that you surround yourself with daily, and so I was like looking at stereotypes all week for some reason. Do you know? So one of my kids asked me, "You're gonna say top 2 or the bottom, right?" One of my kids asked me for a sandwich, and they go, "No mayonnaise though. That's disgusting." Is it the top 2 or the bottom? Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, all right. He's like, that stuff is gross.
I don't like mayonnaise either.
I know.
I have it in my potato salad. I'm just saying,
he eats potato salad, but it's like his 18% really came through.
I'm telling you, that's the one. I think from the day this boy was born. Tell me, Marissa.
Yeah.
The day he was, before he was born, because of
all you heard was salsa. All you heard was salsa when you're looking at him.
But the thing about before he was born, because of the things people were saying before he was even born, I knew I had to be extra.
Yeah.
With it, you know.
Yeah.
And he ain't even my godchild. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Those would be the ones.
They be the ones.
They be the ones.
That's gotta be a new topic. They be the ones.
They be the ones.
Anyway, good show.
Good show.
We have 58
no
minutes.
No cap. Okay. Tamika?
Yes?
Stay up.
Don't stay ghetto.
Thank you.
I mean, if you want to.
Stay up.
Stay up.
Tamika?
Yes.
I love you.
Well, wait. Where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter. Any sort of streaming device, you can use Alexa, play Yep, yeah, yes podcast, Yep, yeah, yes through.
They're not gonna. Alexa done gave up at this point.
Alexa knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
You see the kids, Alexa?
I did, and I want one.
Yeah, but they're saying there's an issue.
What issue?
With privacy information.
My gosh!
So they're being investigated. Anyway, so yeah, they can catch us on TuneIn, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play Music, Podbean. We're there. Just find us. Thank y'all for all this. Subscribe. Anybody you want to shout out real quick?
Oh, Lieutenant Colonel, awesome. Morning Dew. El Gato.
That's good.
Yeah.
We used to say Fro Man, but
Fro Man.
Froman.
Froman and his swoosh.
And we got some guests coming up soon.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we got it.
That's
a good weather.
Be an interesting conversation too.
It's the weather's getting nice, so we'll have a couple of guests coming up in the next few weeks or so. Anyway, good talking to you.
Stormy weather.
Webster. All right, homie, I love you.
I love you.
What? Go ahead, tell me.
Homie, I love you.
Uh-huh.
And you're enough.
Thank you. Adios.